This is your news report and your second stimulus check update and your stimulus package update as of Saturday, August 15th. President Trump says to get ready for $1,200 stimulus checks to all Americans. President Trump also says that he is ready to send more PPP money to small businesses. The senators, they are on vacation for the next 3 weeks. The Democrats, they're saying that they'll resume stimulus package negotiations before those 3 weeks end if the Republicans bring $2 trillion to the table. COVID-19 cases are back on the rise. This is your Saturday news update, and I hope your weekend is going very well. So here's an interesting tweet from President Trump late in the afternoon yesterday. It reads, I have directed Steven Mnuchin to get ready to send direct payments, $3,400 for a family of 4, to all Americans. Democrats are holding this up. Let's break this down. Steven Mnuchin, he is the Treasury Secretary. The reason why President Trump said $3,400 for a family of 4 is because 2 adults and 2 children in a family in this example, then that's going to be, you'll start off with the kids, a child, $500 a pop, so that's $1,000, and then you have 2 adults, $1,200 plus $1,200 is $2,400, so that gets you to the $3,400. This is the same terms as the first stimulus check, which is $1,200 for adults and $500 per dependent. However, in President Trump's tweet, he wrote that this would be for all Americans, which means that there would be a stimulus check for everybody, regardless of if your income is over the $75,000 threshold or not. Giving a $1,200 stimulus check to all American adults and $500 per child would cost the United States $1 trillion, according to the Treasury. The previous stimulus check, that program cost $300 billion because you were only eligible for the full amount of that stimulus check if your adjusted gross income was below $75,000 as a single person or $150,000 for married filing jointly. President Trump also tweeted, I am ready to have the U.S. Treasury and SBA send additional PPP payments to small businesses. This, of course, would be a great benefit to the self-employed and small business owners. President Trump also tweeted, I am ready to send more money to states and local governments to save jobs for police, firefighters, first responders, and teachers. President Trump did sign those 4 executive orders last weekend for the extension of federal unemployment benefits, renter assistance, student loan assistance, and payroll tax cuts. When President Trump was asked for clarification on whether this would be an additional executive order, President Trump said he would not issue an executive order for the stimulus check, for the PPP, or additional funds for state and local governments. President Trump said that he will not take unilateral action, and he's waiting for the Democrats to approve these items. President Trump needs Congress to sign off on these items. However, the politicians, they are on vacation for the next 3 weeks. In order to get the politicians back to work before those 3 weeks end, Nancy Pelosi, leader of the Democrats in the House of Representatives, said that the Democrats would only return before then if the Republicans bring $2 trillion to the table to spend on the stimulus package. The Republicans, they're currently offering $1 trillion. Nancy Pelosi spent her morning today writing a letter to her fellow Democrats blaming Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell for letting the senators go back on vacation while the American people are left without assistance. The Republicans, they're calling the Democrats greedy, and the Democrats, they're calling the Republicans stingy. I'll give you an example where the Republicans and Democrats are far apart, and then you can comment on whether this is greedy or whether this is stingy. For food stamps and anti-hunger programs, the Democrats, they are demanding $60 billion for this program. The Republicans, they're offering $250,000. That's $250,000. So 60 billion and 250,000. If that discrepancy does not register for you, another way to put it is if the Democrats are offering $60,000 for food programs, the Republicans are offering 25 cents. So $60,000, here's a quarter. Again, is that too greedy or is that too stingy? Let's take a look at the COVID-19 news. COVID-19 cases are back on the rise. On Friday, yesterday, we recorded 64,201 new coronavirus cases and 1,336 fatalities. This is according to Johns Hopkins University. Cases are spiking in countries across the world. South Korea, they've always been praised for their excellent response and containment of COVID-19. However, new COVID-19 cases doubled in a single day, which has caused South Korea to implement new social distancing measures. New Zealand, they did an amazing job, and previously they declared that they beat COVID-19 because they were reporting 0 cases. Now, new outbreaks are arising in New Zealand. The Russian Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine is now being manufactured. Dr. Fauci warns against the herd immunity technique to beat COVID-19 because that would result in a massive death toll. The CDC says that the United States is currently at a total case count of 5.2 million and 167,000 fatalities. This is the news for today. Please subscribe. I'll keep you updated. I'll save you some time, and I'll give you any advice when applicable. Thank you so much, and please have a very nice Saturday.